Alright guys, so I'm back. It's been a while. Bear with me because I don't have my mic. I have my mic, but I can't use it right now because my port is being occupied by my charger because my battery is low, so I can't plug in my port for my microphone. So here we are. I have to just project the best way I can. So it's been a while, okay? I haven't made any videos as of late because I don't really have that many updates as far as my Trizepatide Mounjaro journey, but also I did not really get the views that I thought I'd get. So, you know, I just took a little break, but I'm going to try to be more consistent with these posts. So, as I said in my previous video, if you haven't watched it, go watch it, okay? I started my Mounjaro journey a couple years ago, okay, my Trizepatide Mounjaro journey, and I started that journey, went into an endocrinologist's office hoping to get help for weight loss because I was pre-diabetic and 248 pounds. I had no idea I was diabetic until I went in and they took blood and they told me my A1C was 7.0, so they were able to get Mounjaro approved for me. Now, as I said in my last video, everybody's journey will be different on this medication. Some are super responders, some are non-responders, unfortunately, and some are slow responders. I'm in that last category. I'm a slow responder. So, you know, I'm not one of these people who went out and lost 30 pounds in a month, which is not really what you want to do anyway. That's not really the safe way to go about it, you know, for many reasons, which I've already kind of covered in my last video. So I'm a slow responder, and the weight loss has been very slow, but it did still happen, which is a great thing because prior to that, practically nothing worked for me. So I managed to lose 35 pounds, but here we are today, 2 years later. I'm not at my goal weight yet, but now I'm at a stage where I'm kind of plateauing, and I've hit plateaus before while being on this medication. So at one point I plateaued at 220, and I hovered there for nearly a year, which I feel is unacceptable, okay? But to each their own. Then I think, I'm trying to remember what happened because I actually got sick and there was a medication, stopped the medication for a while, got back on it. And, you know, I think when I got back up to 10 or 12.5, that's when the weight started to move again. But when I say move, it basically, I went from 220 to 215, and then I kind of stayed there for a while. Okay, I don't want to ramble too much because I'm 2 minutes in. But then I went down to as low as 212. And then I'm kind of hovering between 212 and 215 right now. So here's where the addition, the thing I want to talk about comes into play. Because sometimes on this journey, you do need a little extra help. The Trizepatide itself should be enough, but until Retta comes out, because I'm not doing gray market stuff, not doing it, we have to try to break our plateaus and make the best of the GLPs that are available right now. So I went to my doctor and I said, hey, my weight loss is slow. I'm hitting a plateau. What can we do? You know, until Retta comes out, because I'm going to try to hit Retta. She told me about something called Lomaira, 8 milligrams. Now, I had never heard of that before, ever. But she explained to me that this was phentermine, and I was kind of taken aback because years ago, right before I got married, I was on phentermine. And initially, when you say super responder, when it came to that, at that point in time, only for that point in time, for maybe about a month to 6 weeks, I was a super responder. I was so much of a responder that they had to take in my wedding gown three times, okay, because I just kept losing weight quickly. It changes your mindset, right? But then, like most of the other things that I've tried for weight loss, I developed a tolerance, and then it didn't work anymore. And I found myself off and on phentermine for a few years, with my body not responding to it as well as it did the first time around. So when she mentioned that this was phentermine, I thought to myself, A, it's a stimulant, which is not really good, to be honest with you, in my opinion. And B, I'm like, it didn't work for me anymore. But she explained to me that it's a much lower dose than traditional phentermine, which traditional phentermine is about 37 milligrams. 30 to 37 milligrams, and you take it once a day because it's strong enough that you don't need to take it multiple times a day. So she said, let's try the Lomaira, and you don't have to take it every single day, which I liked because I don't want to take that every single day. In fact, I want it to be very short term. I'm thinking a month to 2 months tops, and I don't even think I want to do 2 months, just to kind of get the weight moving again. So basically, she asked me what meals that I struggle the most with. And I don't know if I brought this up in a previous video, but for me, it's not breakfast. Breakfast for me is a piece of cake, no pun intended. It didn't used to be. I used to struggle with breakfast too, but now breakfast, I can have a yogurt and a coffee, or I can have egg whites if I'm at work, and English muffin, which is not the worst. I can have a smoothie, you know what I mean, and start my day. The problem comes in when I get home, because it's a comforting time for me. I'm with my husband, we're watching TV. I want to have something hearty, something heavy. I want to enjoy. And, then after dinner, dessert. I was brought up on dessert. So it's a struggle for me. For those of you who don't like sweets, more power to you, because I know there's a lot of people out there who they don't like sweets. So it's very easy. The weight loss thing comes more natural for them. But for me, someone who struggles with sugar addiction and emotional eating, even with Trizepatide, it's a challenge for me. Even with the 35 pounds I lost, it's a challenge for me. So I explained to her that the problem time to me is the evening. It's not the morning. Lunchtime is it's okay. Every now and then, if I take a week from my shot, I get cravings for a chocolate bar after lunch. But it's not too often, okay? But the nighttime is particularly my struggle. So she said, you take the Lomaira right before your most struggle, the meals where you struggle the most, and that's it. Okay, so it's going to be dinner time. I don't want to take it lunch and dinner. You can take it up to 3 times a day, by the way. I want to be really clear. She explained to me up to 3 times a day. I've been doing a little research. Now here's where it gets interesting. I'm just kind of introducing you guys to this part of my journey before I actually started it, because if I do see results, I want you guys to know the prequel to all this. Okay, so I kind of lost my train of thought here. So I haven't started it yet. I ran into a lot of issues with insurance. For some reason, insurance didn't want to approve it initially. They approved Trizepatide right away, but for some reason they didn't want to approve this. They said I needed to see the nutritionist first, which is not a big deal because I did used to see a nutritionist, but it had been a year. So it has to be like within less than a year for them to approve this medication, at least my insurance. Okay, I saw the nutritionist, and then I still, didn't hear anything back. So I had to be a proactive patient and find out what the hell was going on. So then, they called it in, they got it approved, even though I already done what I was supposed to do with the nutritionist. And then, of course, nothing again. So then I went into CVS, and they basically told me that because it had literally taken them over a month to get everything straight, that I needed a new prescription for it. So I had to reach out to my doctor again, being the proactive patient, and boom, got it approved. And it's sitting at the pharmacy right now. Okay, I'm just not rushing to take it at this point because they have me on prednisone, which I'm not happy about because I have a lot of inflammation and pain in my body, which no one seems to know how to help me out with. So I don't want to take too many medications at once. Once I'm done with that and my other medication, then I'll start the Lomaira. But I wanted to give you guys a kind of a heads up on where I'm at on my journey and what I'm going to be doing to hopefully accelerate this a little bit more, because I find myself hitting these plateaus, and that's something some of you may face as well. You guys may hit plateaus. Don't get discouraged, okay? Besides medications, because we don't always want it to be about medications, there's things you can do. I remember even when I was stuck at 215, I changed my cardio routine. I think I just started walking on incline, a steeper incline for longer. Instead of 20 minutes, I did 25. And then that's when I got down to 212. Now I'm teetering between 212 and 215 because I'm struggling a bit again. And So it's a lot going on, you know. Even with the gym stuff, I had to take a little chill pill with the gym, but I'm still trying to walk, do little weights at home. But yeah, so Lomaira, 8 milligrams, look it up. Ask your doctor about it if that's something you think you may be interested in. But I think it's only given when you're at your highest point of Trizepatide, which is usually 15 milligrams, and you're stuck. So for me, I'm not at the highest. I'm at 12. I'm between 10 and 12 milligrams, and I say that because sometimes I go back down to 10 when the 12 does a number on my stomach. Yeah, 12.5. But I told my doctor I'm not interested in taking 15 because after you take 15 or Trizepatide, there's nowhere to go from there. Please keep that in mind, guys. So, you know, don't be in a rush to go straight to 15. You know what I mean? And why the hell is this bug out here? We got screens, but there's gaps, so they still find their way in. Sorry. I just had a fight with the bug. I'm outdoors. Anyway, I close these gaps. We have screens, but yes. To end this, you know, I'm gonna keep you guys abreast of my journey. And Lomaira, 8 milligrams, look it up. It's low dose phentermine, which is all new to me. Never heard of low dose phentermine before. And only consider it if you've reached a point of, I want to say, long-term being stuck at the same weight, because that's kind of like where I am. You know what I mean? If you're consistently losing weight the way you should be, don't get obsessed and think, okay, well, now I'm going to go get some Lomaira, you know, because I want to be skinny fast. For me, it's not about being skinny fast. I've been on this journey for 2.5 years, 2.25, and, you know, I don't like being stuck at the same weight, plateauing for 6 months, a year. That's not what I want to do. So if that's not you, then don't get Lomaira. Don't even consider it. But if you're plateauing for too long and maybe, you know, you've tried some things, tweaking things, and it's not working, what the hell is going on here? Sorry, outdoors. Anyway, consider that. Consider talking to your doctor about Lomaira, but I'm not a doctor, so you always want to talk to your doctor about what's right for you, because if you are hypertensive, if you have heart trouble, Lomaira may not be for you. But that's the conversation you have to have with your doctor, a professional. That's not, you know, don't listen to me. I'm not a doctor, but I'm just giving you the best of my knowledge, what I know about this medication, okay? Guys, take care, and until next time, I'll be back with more weight loss talk and fashion. Bye.